Hello everyone and welcome to today's session on how to use JIRA. Do you know friends, Atlassian co-founder Mike Cannon-Brookes and Scott Frockhor met in 1998 while studying on a computer science scholarship at the University of New South Wales in Sydney. Mike dropped out of the program early to work on his own project, which he did, and then sold out to a well-known competitor for a good price. They both had a passion for technology and dislike for corporate grind. As a result, they co-founded Atlassian, which was a tech support firm. JIRA, which was a project management application, blossomed from there, and now it is used in everything. Before we discuss today's agenda, do not forget to hit the subscribe button and click the bell icon. First, we're gonna start with introduction. Then, we're gonna discuss about what is JIRA. Moving ahead, we're gonna set up JIRA dashboard, and at the end, we're gonna have implementation of JIRA features in development environment.
So let's start with introduction. Do you know friends that JIRA software was created in 2002 in Sydney by two computer science students seeking for a route out of corporate grind? JIRA became one of the most widely recommended Agile project management solution in the world. According to the 15th Annual State of Agile report, there is no coincidence that JIRA is one of the best tools for project management solution. JIRA comes with most of the functionality out of the box, as well as an amazing plugin library. And it's all about automating workflows. Who doesn't want that while developing a software? Let me tell you some interesting fact about JIRA. Do you know friends that what does JIRA means? JIRA is basically derived from Gojira, which is a Japanese word for Godzilla, which makes sense because it is related to squashing software problems. Gojira is also loosely translated as a whale-sized gorilla. Now let's look at basically what is JIRA. JIRA software is a part of suite of solution meant to assist teams of all sizes in managing their workload. JIRA was originally intended to be a bug and issue tracker. JIRA, on the other hand, has matured into a strong task management application for all types of use cases, ranging from requirements and test case management to agile software development. JIRA software serves as a core center for the coding, collaboration, and release stages for increasing number of teams today. JIRA connects with a range of add-ons for test management, allowing QA testing to be done effortlessly, integrated into software development lifecycle. Teams are capable of testing effectively and iteratively. To manage human and automated tests, QA teams use JIRA problems, customizable screens, fields, and workflows. Now let's see what are the packages offered by JIRA. JIRA Work Management is used for general project management, which is one of the package. JIRA software also consists of fundamental software as well as agile project management capabilities. It has IT operations and business service desks used by JIRA Service Management. JIRA Align is also used to manage key products and portfolios. JIRA Work Management is built around three key concepts: issue, project, and workflow. Issues are the tasks that must be completed in order to complete a project. JIRA projects are a way to organize your issues and information you need to move forward. Workflows, on the other hand, specify how a problem will be handled throughout a project. Now let's see why should we use JIRA. JIRA is a one-stop solution for software development, such as creating backlogs, creating sprints, then updating status on the board, managing releases, code integration, and managing workflows. JIRA software includes Scrum and Kanban boards out of the box for teams to use Agile methodology. Boards are task management hubs that map jobs to customized workflows. Boards ensure teamwork's transparency and visibility into the status of each work item. Teams may precisely monitor their productivity over time with time tracking. There is also a time tracking feature and real-time performance reports, which is burn up and down charts, sprint reports, and velocity charts. Now let's see how we can set up JIRA dashboard. Before we begin setting up our JIRA dashboard, let's discuss some of the terminologies. The first one is sprint. So, a sprint is basically a 2-week work which focuses on a cycle that is used for all clients in a project. Let's discuss backlog. A backlog is a prioritized list of work or stories. If we talk about epic, an epic is a big user story or a requirement that needs to be broken down. Let's discuss about Scrum board. A Scrum board is used for a client who is facing the project. It consists of basically a to-do, in progress and done column. If we talk about Kanban board, then Kanban board is used for all production related work with respect to the client. If we talk about component, then component is used to differentiate between domains and teams. If we talk about workflow in JIRA, which means that it is used to move a story or subtask between columns on a Scrum or a Kanban board. If we talk about basic filter, then it is only here to include one of the project's information if we want to use in the components field. If we talk about story, then it is basically a user story which contains all the requirement for a request regarding a project. Let's discuss about action log. An action log is a list of actions that came out of a Scrum meeting. If I talk about a risk log, then it is a list of related risks identified during a project or a sprint cycle. If we talk about bug, then it means that it is a problem which impairs or prevents the functions of a product. So now let's discuss these agile terminologies which we'll encounter while setting up the JIRA dashboard. So if we talk about epic, then epic is basically an abstract view of what we are trying to achieve. To get into technical aspect, we get into what is required to achieve epic. To break the epic into features that are required to achieve the epic, and to fulfill those features, we create a story. And we are not describing any technical constraints in the story. Rather, story are kind of non-technical in nature. And to achieve the technical aspect of the same, we require tasks. And tasks are basically required to fulfill the technical requirements. So it is the last chain of the agile methodology. So this kind of hierarchy which describes sprint life cycle and scrum life cycle and how developers take their approach to development. And within Jira, we make use of these subcomponents such as epic, story, and tasks to follow up. So now let's begin with the hands-on session and let's see how we can set up our Jira dashboard. So as you can see that we are on the landing page of Jira software. So here you can see that it is been asked to add your work email. So for example, I have added my mail address all over here, and you can also sign with a different Atlassian account if you have. So as you can see, here we have the site name. So you have to enter a name that's unique and have not been taken by anyone else. If you type the name which has already been taken, then it will not accept. Suppose if I type something like this. So I have written ecom pay and this name has never been taken. So it has accepted. Suppose if I write something which has taken. Suppose if I write Flipkart. So you can see it is not going to accept. It says site is already been taken. Okay. So we are going to continue with the first name that is ecom pay. Okay. So basically what we are going to do here is we are going to set up our Jira for e-commerce application where we are going to add our requirements. So I have written the name ecom.pay which has been accepted and we are going to continue with the same. So as you can see, after writing the name of the domain of our site which is ecom.pay, so it gets up to this site. You have to do nothing, you have to just click continue. Okay, now in this page, we are going to have some questions which we have to answer. So it says, I am new to Jira or experienced with. Since I'm a new, so I'm going to choose this option. Next question is asked is, my team is experienced with Agile methodologies or new to. Since my team has been working with Agile, so I'm going to choose with experience with. Now the third question it asks is, which spends our time working on. So we are going to choose support features. The next question asks is, do we have a tight schedule or do we have a flexible schedule? So we are going to choose tight schedule. So these questions being asked by Jira help us to set up our Jira. Okay, so we are going to click next again and let's see. Now at this page, we are going to add our project details. Suppose the project we are developing right now is e-commerce.pay. So I'm going to write ecom payment features. Okay. And the keyword generated here is EPF. And see, we are going to be redirected to a different page. Now, at this page, you can see you have to add the email address to our teams to invite. Suppose if I write Omkar, okay. So suppose I write omkar@gmail.com. So a notification will be sent on his mail that we are being invited to join this project. Similarly, you can add on few different mails and you can add the number of people you want to collaborate to do the project. Now, I'm going to click continue. So as you can see, we have been redirected to this dashboard of our JIRA. So as you can see on the left hand side, we have a lot of options available. Let's discuss one by one. We have options such as active sprints, backlog. So we will click on the backlog and create our epic. Okay. So I have clicked on the backlog and as you can see, this is the epic. So I will click on create epic. Okay. So as you can see, we have our project name ecom payment features and we can declare our issue type. So suppose I want to do it as a story. Now guys, let me share you the epic which I have created for you. So we have an epic of an e-commerce application where as a customer I want to pay for the order through my wallet options. So we have a story 1. As a customer, I will be able for the purchase through PhonePe. Okay. So that's a story, but first now we'll create our epic. So this will be our issue type as an epic and this epic name is suppose we name as online wallet. Okay. Now we have to provide a short summary all over here. So I will copy the epic from here. Okay. So you need to simply add this summary all over here. So you can click on create to create this epic. So as you can see here, we have created our first epic. So which says that as a customer, I want to pay for my orders through wallet option. Now let's create another story in this epic. For the same, I will click on create issue and in this we are going to give our name as issue type story. Okay. So for the summary purpose, I'm going to open the same document as I've shown you earlier where I have mentioned the stories under epic, which says that as a customer, I will be able to pay for the purchase through PhonePe. So I'm going to copy it all from here and paste it on the summary. So guys, I have done it. Now let's see some other option. So here as you can see, I have added as components none and it says attachment to drop the files. So if you have any attachments all over here, you can directly drop it here. Now, so there as you can see as an option of assignee. So you can assign it to an team member of your team or it is set as automatic. You can also list your priority as medium, high, low, lowest according to your needs. So I have chosen medium. Now here asks the epic link. Since I have not got any link, any created link from here, so I'm going to choose it as it is, you know. So now we can see our epic link all over here. So I'm going to choose the online wallet one and I have selected. So as you can see in the backlog section, you see our first story is created. As a customer, I will be able to pay for the purchase. Now let's create another issue in this epic. So we'll add it as story and we are going to copy it all from here, which is as a customer, I will be able to pay for the purchase through Google Pay. Now just copy it from here and paste it in the summary. Okay. Now just click on the create option and you can see your second issue or the story is created in this. So as you can see, we have successfully created our two stories under this epic. Now we also need to add some subtasks under these. So in order to get started with our work, we are going to create some sprint all over here. So as you can see, here is an option of create sprint. So we're going to click on that. Now, as you can see that we have our default sprint created all over here. Now we can see the default name is EPF sprint 1. You can go here at the three triple dots and you can change the name of this sprint which says edit sprint. Suppose if I say name as just sprint 1. So it's gonna create and also we have our options such as duration. You can customize it such as your start date and end date or you can do it within 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks. But ideally let's choose as 4 weeks. Okay. Now we have certain options such as when the starting date is there, when is the ending date and what is the goal of our sprint. So now we're going to click on this update option and our sprint is updated as sprint 1. Now all we have to do is we're going to drop these storylines into this sprint. So as first I'm going to drop this in this sprint. Okay. Then I'm going to drop this into this sprint. So we have added our two sprints all over here. I think so some, okay, now it's correct. We have EPF2 here and EPF3 here. So guys, as you can see, we have successfully added our stories in this sprint. Now let's click on start sprint and we can say the name as sprint 1 and our ideal duration, let's say about 4 weeks. Okay. Now there is a question about what is a sprint goal. So you can say something like we need to add payment methods. Okay. Now just click on the start and your sprint is going to get created. Now we click on the active sprints and we can see that our two of our stories are added. So in the to-do list, we have as a customer, I will be able to pay for the purchase through PhonePe. And at the second, we have as a customer, I will be able to pay for the purchase through Google Pay. Okay, now we'll click on this and we're going to add some points all over here. So as you can see, we have an option of story points. Story points is nothing, but it definitely tells something about what weightage this feature has in the development of a software. Suppose if it is quantitative or not, or it has a very much more weightage, this feature is going to take a long time or short. Depending on that, you can give certain story point. Suppose if I say 3, so I'm going to add a story point of 3 all over here to this feature and we can configure the same. Similarly, I'm going to add the story points in the same section of another feature. So in this story, we can add the same story point as 3 because we are developing a similar kind of feature. So we have configured the same and here we have given the story points. Now, since we have given the story points to both of the stories, so as you can see, we have assigned no one in this. After giving the story points, we can also do the assigning of this particular story. Who will be responsible to implement this feature? So suppose if I say it is unassigned, so there are two options. Either it is automatic, it is Omkar, or it's me. So I say let's Omkar does this feature. I'm going to assign this feature, the story, to Omkar. And similarly, I can do the same thing all over here. So I'm going to click on here and I'm going to say assign it to me. So as a thing, this assignee is basically responsible to implement this feature. Now we have assigned our these two stories in the given sprint. Okay. So now it's time to do the subtask for the following. Okay. So you can see here an option as a subtask. So just click on the same. So what is a subtask? So basically the kind of a technical task that we have to do. So under story, as you can see, we have an option to integrate through PhonePe API. So I'm going to copy the same and just paste it all over here. Okay. Then we are just click on the create option. Okay. So it's created the PhonePe API integration. Similarly, I'm going to do the subtask for the same. And here I will just add to integrate to Google API. Just copy it from here and I'm going to paste it. So it shows that we have created our subtask under the given task which needs to be done and just add the create option. And here the option asks it what needs to be done. So as you can see, after creating the respective subtask, so as you can see, so as a customer, I will be able to purchase through PhonePe API. So I have integrated the PhonePe API here as a subtask. Similarly, as a customer, I will be able to pay for the purchase through Google Pay. So I've integrated the subtask as integrate through Google Pay API. So in this way, we have created our respective subtask in our sprint 1. So as you can see, we have created our sprint and we have added our respective subtask in which you can see I have added integrate PhonePe API in which the story says the customer will be able to pay through PhonePe. Similarly, I have created another subtask to integrate Google Pay API where a customer says he will be able to go for the purchase. Now as you can see in the active sprint section, it shows all the details all over here. So when you go to the backlog section, it's going to show all these stories which we have added. So as we can see, if we go on our roadmap, we can see that it shows the different sides of a roadmap for our project. which says it's what has the progress been in weeks, months, or quarters. So as you can see here, I've added our sprint here in the roadmap. So it shows our sprint is from here July to August, and it shows all the details that we have added respectively in our software development, which we are going to add and incorporate in our project, which is e-commerce payment features. So this was basically to give an idea about how you can add sprint or add backlogs, basically create an epic, then story. I hope so you would have got some idea regarding the JIRA platform. So basically, JIRA was intended to be a bug and issue tracker. On the other hand, it has matured into a task management application for all types of use cases, ranging from requirements to following agile software development methodology. This was all for today's session. I hope so you would have got some idea regarding JIRA software.
Just a quick info, guys. Intellipaat provides PG certification in business analysis and product management by ENICT Academy MNIT Jaipur. The course link of which is given in the description below.